Okay, so today we're going to talk about ratio tables like we did yesterday, but we're going to add graphs to them. Because every ratio table, you can graph. Does anyone know what this is called right here? Ethan?
A line graph?
Nope.
A bar graph?
Not a bar graph, not a line graph. McKenna?
It starts with an H.
Nope, it does not start with an H. Owen?
A graph?
Well, yes, it's a specific type of graph.
Ratio graph.
Nope, but good guess, bud. Peyton?
It's like XY graph, or like an XX graph.
Okay, you are on the right track. It does have to deal with your X and your Y axes. Sienna?
Bar graph?
Not a bar graph. Ethan?
Column graph?
Nope. Ella?
Table graph?
Nope.
Line graph?
Nope.
Plot graph?
Nope. Alright, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so your X and Y axis, which is right here, we have our X axis and we have our Y axis. This is only one, what we call quadrant, and it's one quadrant of what's called a coordinate plane. Okay, you might have seen it last year. It is something I will teach you more of this year, okay? We're just not there yet. So we're only going to work in one quadrant because it's the easiest of the four quadrants to work with, okay? So what we have to do is number one says to fill in the ratio table and graph the points on the graph. And then it asks, is it proportional? And I'll explain what that means. So first things first, guys, I want you to fill in these 3 blank spaces. So I want everyone to do that on their own, because this is what we learned yesterday. So I want you to fill in these 3 blank spaces. We have 4 to 6, and I want you to fill in the rest on your own for me, please. So fill in those blanks. Remember, you can use your rainbows. Should you? Yes. Do you have to? No. Rainbows are more just a teaching tool. What's the first thing we should be doing, you guys? What should I do first, Caitlin?
Simplify 4 and 6.
I need to simplify 4 and 6. If you have not simplified 4 and 6, you need to simplify 4 and 6 first. And then I'm just going to add in an extra row down here at the bottom to write those in. First things first, always make sure whatever ratio they give you is in simplest form. Okay, guys, someone tell me, what does 4, 6 simplify to, Peter? 2/3. So 2 should be under my X, 3 should be under my Y. And now that they are simplified, I can use that rainbow method to figure out what those blanks are. So how did I get from 2 to 8, you guys? 2 to 8 times 4. So how do I get from 3 to whatever? And 3 times 4 is 12. How did I get from 2 to 12?
Times 6.
Guys, I'm up here. I expect you to be listening and participating. 2 times what gives me 12?
6.
So that means I have to do 3 times what? 3 times 6 is? And how did I get from 2 to 16? I times it by 8. So that means I have to do 3 times 8, which is
24.
yes, Lindsay.
I multiplied it wrong, but I got the answer from
You can use your 4, 6 to still get to them, as long as 4 goes into those numbers. Does that make sense? So you could still go from the 4 to 6. The simplifying it just makes it a little bit easier, okay? But it still can work. So now what we have to do is we have to write the numbers down as what we call ordered pairs. So right here at the bottom we're going to write ordered pairs. Now an ordered pair is written x, comma, y inside of parentheses. So we take my x, write down the number, comma, y, write down the number, put it inside parentheses. So what's this first one that I see? So I would write a parenthesis sign, a 4, a comma, a 6, and I would close my parenthesis sign. That's all you do for an ordered pair, is you're just writing the numbers inside parentheses with the comma separating them. So how should I write the next one? 8, comma, 12 inside that parentheses. How should I write the next one?
12, 18.
Once again, they need to be inside parentheses. How do I write the next one? And the last one. Questions on how to write an ordered pair? So now we have to take these ordered pairs and we have to graph them on the coordinate plane. X comes before y, because it's my x and my y. Does everyone see that? So I would go x, which is across, before I go up. This is where some teachers in the past maybe have said you have to walk before you can jump. You gotta run before you can climb. There's a whole bunch of different sayings, and I don't really care which one you memorize, as long as you remember x is across, y goes up. You have to go across before you go up. So when I see 4, 6, I need to go over to 4, and I need to go up to 6. And I put a dot there. So it's over 4, up 6, put a dot. That's the same process every single time. That process will not change. So what's the next one I should do? So do I go up 8 or over 8? I'm going over 8, and then what am I doing? Then I'm going up 12, and I'm putting a dot. What's the next one I should do?
12, 18.
So am I going up 12 or over 12?
Over 12.
Over 12, and what am I doing with the 18?
Up.
I'm going up 18. What's the next one?
16, 24.
So up 16 or over 16?
Over 16.
Over 16, and then what, guys?
Up 24.
Up 24. And the last one. So I go over 2, up 3. Izzy.
Do you care if we put like a line, then a dot, like a line up, so we don't move our box too much?
As long as you use your pencil and you erase it.
Oh, okay.
That's perfectly fine. Last point I want you guys to put is this point right here at 0, 0. That's what we call the origin. That point 0, 0 is always a part of your ratio table, okay? Because it's kind of the starting point. So then what you're going to do Do you see how we have all these dots? We're going to connect them now. You guys, I prefer using straight lines. Notice, I don't have a ruler on me, do I? I just used a piece of paper. Okay? You guys can just use whatever you've got laying around. It does not matter, but do your best to draw a straight line. Just do your best. Now, do you notice, guys? I did not stop at that last dot. Do you see that? I continued on and I put an arrow. I need you to continue on and put an arrow. Because if this ratio were to continue, would this line continue?
Yes.
Would I hit a bunch more dots if this line continued?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's the point of the ratio table. So when it says, is this proportional?
Yes.
The answer is
Yes.
yes. And it is proportional for two reasons. One, it goes through that 0, 0 point. And two, it's a straight line. So if you have a line that goes through the 0, 0 and is a straight line, it is what we consider a proportional relationship. Yes, Owen?
I was going to say, like, instead of, like, the opposite, like, it's like it keeps going.
It does. It keeps going. Lindsay?
When you're writing the order here, you start from the X and the Y.
Yep, X goes first, Y goes second. So it'll always be in that order. Now, can we describe this graph in many ways? Somebody tell me something about this graph. How would you describe it? Give me some descriptive sentence. Ethan?
The ratio graph is proportional.
Okay, so we could just say it's proportional. What else could we say? Can't hear you, bud. What? Okay, but that does not necessarily have to be the greatest point. What's happening with each point, guys?
It's rising.
It's rising. Could we say by how much it's rising?
Yeah.
How much is it going up every single time? We go from 3 to 6 to 12 to 18, 24. What number does it go up by? 3. Because what is the number in simplest form? Hey guys, what's the number in simplest form? 3. So it goes up by 3 every single time. Or it goes over by what? 2, because that's your simplest form. So you can use your simplest form to tell me what it goes up by or what it goes over by. But you have to be able to describe that data. Girls, you need to stop talking while I am. Okay, this last one is exactly the same, just a little bit different. Everyone fill in this ratio table for me. Right here, I want you to write it in simplest form. Alrighty. Michael, what's it in simplest form, bud?
1/5.
Perfect. So hopefully we all have 1/5 written, right guys? Hey, no matter what, I always want you to make sure you have it in simplest form. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, next we gotta fill in these blanks. So, Christian, what goes under the 4? How do I get from 1 to 4, bud?
2.
1 times what gives me 4?
1 times 4.
So if I multiply by 4 on top, I have to multiply by what on bottom?
4.
So 5 times 4 is?
20.
Guys, I asked Christian.
20.
Thank you. Good job, Christian. Okay, under the 6, Emily, what's that?
30.
30. Under the 8, Ben, what's that?
40.
And under the 10, Trevor, is?
60.
Perfect. Questions, guys? Okay, I want you to write them as ordered pairs. Okay, you should have what I have written down when you are done. Do we have that written down? So now we should be plotting those points. Now I'm going to give you a heads up. The first one, we go over 1 and we go up 5, right? Put a dot. The next one, we go over to 2 and up 10. The next one, we go over to 4 and up to 20. What do you notice is going to happen with the next ones? It's going to go off the chart. So if that's the case, we are just going to stop right there. And we're just going to plot that 0, 0 point. And we're not going to plot the rest of them because they won't fit on my chart. Is that okay to do, guys? Absolutely. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Is that clear? So then, once again, I'm going to connect my dots as best I can. And I'm going to draw an arrow. Guys, is this proportional or non-proportional? This is proportional. Alright, really quickly, because the bell is going to ring here in 1 minute, I need to explain your homework assignment to you, so if you would like directions, I would listen up. There are a total of 4 questions on your homework assignment. Number 1, 3, 5, and 7, you are writing the ordered pairs out from the tables. Is that understood? 2, 4, 6, and 8, it says to graph the ordered pairs. So what I did was I gave you a graphing piece of paper on the back of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I didn't write any numbers out, did I?
No.
So on number 2, you're going to count by ones, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense? 4, you count by ones. 6, you count by ones, and eights, I want you to count by two. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Does that make sense, you guys? Homework assignment is on the podium. You may grab it, and you are free to leave. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. What's due on Sunday? Oh, and you need to be in my room after school, okay, bud? Is there an A day? Today, I believe, is a B day. At least I think.
Yeah, it's a B day.
Okay. Peter, dude, you're missing 2 assignments too, bud. I know. Yeah, your name's been on my board literally all week long. You gotta know, you gotta come in.
Are you looking for my name again?
Thank you. Goodbye, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, Matthew.